How is it going then, everybody? I hope you're all doing very well. Welcome back to another video here on our channel. I'm the FIFA Analyst. Today we are bringing you another FIFA 20 defending video. We're going to be looking today specifically at how you can defend like a professional FIFA player on FIFA 20. If you have missed our basic defending guides, make sure you do check them out. I will put a link up above where you can go and check them out and then come back to this video to get an understanding of how to defend like these absolute machines that we are going to be taking a look at. I do want to give a massive thank you to Fut Head. They have allowed me to grab the footage from their tournament that they run every single Tuesday night at 8 PM UK time. We're going to be taking a look at Tuga as well as #Tom today from the final that happened this Tuesday just gone. The reason why we're looking at this is because Tuga defended like an absolute machine. Very, very difficult for Tom to get past, and I wanted to see what he was doing to kind of allow to do that. So let's go ahead and jump into it. If you do enjoy the video, please let me know by dropping a like. You can subscribe. We do upload every single day at 5 PM, and we do also stream every single day at twitch.tv/FIFA Analyst. Let's go and jump straight into it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to look at how not to defend. And this is one of the goals that Tom concedes throughout this game, and it costs him massively. Just as well, the Fut Head Cup is played for $2,000. So there is money on the line in this game. So both players are obviously going to be trying very, very hard. And the mistake initially comes from Tom. Now I'm going to show you this because we want to know what we should do and what we shouldn't do. And the first instance is the ball comes through into the middle with CR7, and Tuga is just being patient with it. He's trying to wait to see if there's any gaps appearing. Now what's going to happen is he is going to come up with the defender here, and he's going to drive forward to try and put a little bit of pressure on the Ronaldo. What that then is doing is actually taking a Makele out of the I don't know how to say his name, just ignore that one, taking his centre back out of this position. I always talk about you want your back line left as a back line as and where you can. Hullet here is the man that should be going over to this CR7. So this should be an L1 or LB switch to the man closest on the ball. You could do a right stick switch up there as well, and then he should be putting the pressure on the CR7, and the R9 would then be left accompanied by the centre back. Instead, he pulls that defender out of position. As you can see, that then transition in a little bit of a movement from Tuga with CR7, which then allows him to find that pass in, and then he puts the ball in the back of the net. Pro players do make mistakes in defence, and this is what is essentially going to cost Tom in the long run. One little mistake means that now, with the way competitive FIFA is, he's not going to get a look in against Tuga. It's going to be very, very difficult, and that's what separates the games at the top level. Tiny, tiny little mistakes, but just have a look at it again, how he does it. Good defending up until that point. Should have switched to the Hullet. Doesn't. Pulls the Semedo out. And bang, that is a goal. Moving on to the next one. Moving on to our next point then with the defences. We're going to, as I said, we're going to be looking at Tuga mainly throughout this. It's how calm he is in defence, that he moves his players around, but at no point does he really step in and try and make a massive tackle, pull someone out of position. He's putting the people forward and putting a bit of pressure on, letting Tom know that he's there, but he's waiting for a certain thing. And that certain thing is going to be a drag back, a skill move where he knows which way he is going to exit. Here he picks up the ball with Young. He's exhausted all of his outcomes, Tom has. He's got nowhere to go forward to. He can't go, he could go to the St. Maximin if he wanted to, but he's about borderline offside, so he wouldn't want to. More than likely, he's going to look to come back into here. He's not probably going to run with Frankie de Jong just because he's going to be running into a bit of trouble. So most players, as soon as they see that drag back animation, couple of things Tom may do. More than likely, he's going to drag back into there. That's what a lot of players would do. He could fake the drag back and come back this way, and then De Bruyne may get sent there. But instead, he does what a lot of people do. Now is the time for the defender to step in, and that's exactly what Tuga does. He doesn't mess around. He steps in straight away and says, I know which way you're going. This is the time to step in. Why is it the time to step in? While he is in mid-drag back, Tom cannot change the outcome of where it's going. He can't pass the ball, he can't do a ball roll, he can't do anything. Because at the minute, De Jong does not have control of that ball. And that's why he steps in straight away and wins the ball back. Guys, if you are enjoying this video, please do let me know by dropping that like button. You can subscribe to the channel. We do upload every day at 5 PM. There is 75% of you that watch these videos that aren't subscribed, which is absolutely mad. And you've all seen more than one video. That's one stat that we're kind of seeing here. You've probably watched more than one. So subscribe if you enjoy it. Also, we do stream every single day at twitch.tv/FIFA Analyst. Head on over there if you are interested. Moving on to our next point then. One of the things with competitive FIFA is literally every man is behind the ball, all right? It makes it very, very difficult for anyone to break down. It's like a brick wall. We all know that. And Tuga uses this to his example, to his benefit really, really well. Just watch this as it kind of pans out. Have a look and see if there's anything that you notice here and think, what's he doing differently to what I do? Now, one thing that I've noticed here, his De Bruyne and his Hullet, his two CDMs, are responsible for coming and covering that middle area. The person that's going to put a bit of pressure on the two centre mids for Tom is going to be the R9, who is playing centre attacking mid. But the KDB and the Hullet do not ever step up. What they are trying to do is cover the passes into Tom's striker and into Tom's centre attacking mid. What he's going to do is he's going to allow the pass to his other CMs. Tuga is basically saying you can have the ball in the middle of the pitch. You are not a threat here. The passes which would be a threat are into the Neymar, into the striker, into the cam. And that's the one that I want to stop you from having. And that's how he is going to make sure that it's a brick wall and that he can't get through. If he wants to put a bit of pressure on, he's going to do it with R9. This man is going to come and put that bit of pressure on. So if Tom takes a bad touch, he does a skill move that he shouldn't do, or walks into him, he's there. He's not backing off completely. He is still putting a bit of pressure on. But these men are going to make sure that they are covering that area, which is what happens. He then comes back over to this side, as you can see, covering the men, making it difficult. He comes over, he switches to the CR7 really, really well. Right stick switching is something that I covered in the defending guide part 1. Have a look at it, link up above. And he uses the right stick switch to come and bring him over, because that's the next logical pass to go forward. I want you guys to be constantly thinking about, when you are covering these men in here, is there anything you can do to look at the next pass and possibly use right attacking mid, centre attacking mid, or left attacking mid to put the pressure on and stop that? You can allow these passes out here to the right attacking mid for the opposition. They're not a massive, massive threat. The one on the edge of the box is. That's the one that we want to avoid at all costs. He switches over, says, you're probably going to play that pass here. It's a direct pass, gets you on the edge of the box. If R9 gets a touch, turns, he can hit that. That's why he switches, intercepts the pass really well and wins the ball back, and then he's patient to see the ball out and then transition into attack. One thing that pro players do really well is they usher them out to the wings and they kind of say, I'm going to channel you out here because you're not a massive threat down the wing, and I'm going to make sure you stick on that touchline. And if you try and play the pass, I'm also going to be there straight on your face. I think this is something that a lot of average players don't do. What they don't do is they don't see this run and they don't track with their fullback. They will go and put pressure on with their right attacking mid, right mid, whoever it is at that particular time. You need to track runners in behind your defense, okay? You can't trust the AI to do it for you. They're a little bit stupid, the AI. They're not quick enough. You defend it better. So you can go and put the pressure on if you want, and you can go and track that run, and you can put pressure on the ball holder by holding R1, RB on Xbox for that second man press. I think this is a little bit of Tom's issue here as well, where Tom messes up. I think he gives the ball back a little bit too simple. As you can see, straight away, Tuga has said, that's a dangerous ball there. I don't want you getting in behind my defence too easily. I'm going to track that run. What Tom should have done is carried on running with the Mendy or come back in. That pass, it's not necessarily a no, you can't do it, but with him tracking the run, I think it's one of them ones where I'd go, it's probably not worth taking that risk. If he wanted to play the pass, I don't know if Tom does, obviously Tom would be the man to tell us, would be to do like an R1 triangle, which is the curved around the outside, and that would just give the Mbappe a bit of the chance to get onto that, because the ball would go around the outside rather than playing a normal through ball where they tend to kind of put it directly in the line of the pass, if that makes sense. Again, Tom would be the one to let us know. It does kind of look like he does. He probably did. I imagine he would with the level that he's at. Even still, though, it wasn't something that we had to play from our point of view, but from defensive point of view, from Tuga, tracks it really well, has no issues with that, and then cleans it up nice and easy. Moving on, we are getting close to half time now, and Tuga is basically just saying, Tom, you can have the ball here. I'm going to make sure every single man is going to be behind that ball, not giving you any little bit of space. As you can see, he's not really pressing. He's not using anyone to go forward and drag anyone out of position. He is making it as difficult as he possibly can for Tom to try and get a goal. He wants to make sure he goes in at half-time 1-0 up. The last thing he wants to do is concede, and that's what he does perfectly. He wins the ball back. Now a little bit of time, boom, it is now going to be half-time. Goes in at 1-0. While as Tom picks the ball up, and he can't get forward and do anything because Tuga doesn't give him that opportunity. That's why at the highest level, competitive FIFA is so hard and boring in a way, because Tom, it's hard for Tom to initiate anything when there's that many men to get past. It's almost impossible because he's outnumbered. He's got his 2 centre mids forward. He's bringing his fullbacks forward, while he's got 10 men, 9 men to try and get through. Very, very difficult. But if you are wanting to defend very well, keep an eye on the clock and think, coming up to half time now, I don't need to win the ball back. I'm 1-0 up. I can see this out to half time and make sure that we go in with a comfortable lead. Moving on to our next point is, again, Tom is now going to make his way into the box. And the key thing here that Tuga doesn't do is he doesn't press the tackle button. He doesn't dive in. He just stands up. He uses the L2 to jockey and he covers the near post as best as he possibly can. And he tries to not give Tom any kind of outlet. As you can see, he's just moving around. Here with Mendy, stands up nice and tall, doesn't go and dive in. Just waits, see what Tom does. He's waiting for Tom to make a mistake. If Tom does a drag back or a skill move to try and get past him here, you might think, he lifts that ball in. He might try a drag back. That's what Tuga is going to wait for. He's trying to see what he's going to do. He's not going, I'm going to charge at you here and try and win the ball, which a lot of players do. Is this a threat at the minute? Absolutely not. He's nowhere near. He can't shoot. He's got to try and do something. He's got to beat the defender. And this is where pro players are so calm and they're so difficult to get past, because he runs at them. He's keeping a two-yard distance or so. He's using the L2 button to jockey and just stay close with him. And just there, jockeying again, keeping it nice and simple. And then he comes back through, just about steps in and intercepts that pass. And then unfortunately for Tom, he tried to press the tackle button and it's ended up as a shot and wins it back. But just look there. You think about yourself. When the opposition gets into this area, what do you do as a player? A lot of people go, I'm going to charge at you here and try and win the ball. No, just keep it nice and calm. Just wait. Just keep covering as best as you possibly can. Using that jockey button, standing in there. Don't go and dive in. Keep covering nice and simple. He tries to come through. Tuga sticks to him. Says you're not going to have either way. Easily intercepts. Boom. Simple. This is kind of on the opposite scale now. Tuga does get cut open. Tom gets inside the box. This is the first chance where Tom has literally had to pull the trigger in front of the goal, where it's probably looking like it's going to be, an easy chance for especially R9 in this scenario. Lovely work chance from Tom. Does really well with a fake shot stop. Uses the R9 by tapping the L1 button, sending him on that little bit of a run just in here for us. Does really, really well. Comes and shows for him. Then he gets into this area. You think, what would you do here? This is risky, but it works effectively. Tom is going to hit that every day of the week with R9. You think you ain't gonna lay that off to Neymar, are you? You're always gonna hit that. Tuga knows that. Tom could lay it off with maybe a fake shot stop first time, a ball roll first time, and he might be able to get away if he did a ball roll here. But again, I don't think many players are going to do that. I think pretty much everyone's going to go R9 in front of goal. I'm going to pull the trigger. So absolutely understandable. Tuga thinks that's what he's going to do. He takes the last ditch effort to go, I'm going to slide tackle. And what a tackle it is. Look at that. Absolutely phenomenal. Times it to perfection. Make sure he gets there and wins that one back. Unbelievable performance from Tuga here. Made it so difficult for Tom to get through. Good game from them both. Obviously at this level of FIFA, it is a little bit dull. It is a little bit boring. But this is what these pros are paid to do. This is their job. They can only play the game that gets put in front of them. And at the minute, the game put in front of them is who makes the first mistake. And then that's kind of who wins the game, which is very unfortunate. We don't want it to be that way. So hopefully EA can start coming up with some better solutions over FIFA 21 to make it more entertaining for us viewers. But I still wanted to kind of touch on this as a whole, because you guys have been asking me, what can I do to get better at defending? And taking a look at this game, for example, does a phenomenal job for it. So then guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, then please do let me know by dropping a like. You can subscribe to the channel. As I said, we do upload every single day at 5 PM UK time and also 8 AM UK time with our Road to Glory series. Once again, thank you to Fut Head for allowing me to use this footage. It is massively appreciated. Please do go drop them some follows on their socials down below. Make sure you check out the tournament on their Tuesday evenings. Go and say hi in the chat and say hello to some of the commentators that are doing a fantastic job over there as well. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.